So cloud cover has overtaken the region, and rainfall is picking up predominantly over on the Kansas side. Was just looking on the traffic cams, not seeing too much happening up and down the I-49 corridor until just a little bit north of Butler right now. So this is a live look outside at US 169. This is the northbound lane here at K 68, just after 4 p.m. So cloudy skies, rainfall headed over there, and a few thunderstorms, all non-severe. Look like they're working their way west to east. Here is a live look at radar right now. Let me go ahead and put this in motion for you so we can take a look. Storms moving. Storm motion is west to east, but these thunderstorms, if you can watch them, they're just south of Emporia, popping up with some pretty good hail. We'll take a look at that in a second, and they're moving off to the south and the east. So let's take a look at what's happening right now. This is over here around Gridley, Kansas, just off to your north, between Hartford and Gridley, and I'm seeing just over a quarter-inch hail over there, and that's about the way of it in this cluster of storms right now north of Yates Center, north of Iola, moving off a little bit to the south and the east. So I think these are going to be in the Fort Scott neighborhood if they continue their southeast track. These are robust little thunderstorms with possibly some wind. Let's go ahead and look at velocities on there. So yeah, some wind gusts are going to come in right with these clusters of storms, just now getting to head towards, I would say, Mapleton, Fulton, Fort Scott, over towards Deerfield, Moundville, Milo. But again, non-severe over there on the Kansas side, working their way over towards state line. Let's go ahead and take a look at what happens now through the rest of the evening. Here's some model data. This is picking things up at about right now, say the 4 p.m. hours. Things grow toward 5, 6. Here's 7 p.m. I do expect more clustering of thunderstorms, and I'm going to stop this now at about 8 p.m. Expecting these to be robust thunderstorms in terms of strong wind gusts and probably larger hail than what we have seen. But notice, I'm going to play the trend for you here. Notice what starts to happen as we move later in the evening. Now up to about 10 p.m., we can look between Wichita and Emporia here, and we're starting to see some organization. So this is going to head off predominantly the strongest thread in terms of these linear thunderstorms, looking like it's going to be a southeast Kansas event. But up here to the north, I think everything does stay south of I-70. I haven't seen in the last few iterations of the HRRR, haven't seen thunderstorm activity north of I-70. But when we get down here to Lewisburg, Paola, these will be robust thunderstorms, and small little Boeing segments are not out of the question. Model data saying that we do see one possibly in this neighborhood, Welda, Kincaid, Blue Mound, Pleasanton, this now being about 11 p.m. But further down here to the southeast, look what happens now. This is midnight, 1 a.m. So I am expecting the overall up and down state line, let's say, between midnight and 1 a.m. And I'm most concerned with this line of severe thunderstorms. And we're going to watch up here in the leading edge of this line. So that could be around Chanute, Stark, Hepler, just the other side of the Missouri state line, right? Just to the west. So this is going to be, again, between midnight and 1 a.m. We'll be watching for very, very strong damaging winds and some large hail. We're going to watch the leading edge there for some spin-up tornadoes. Hopefully, with this type of storm motion, we should see brief spin-ups, if anything. These are not the longer lived supercells that are a little bit more possible earlier in the evening. So this looks to move through. I'm up to, let's see, what are we up to? About 2, 3 a.m. now. Behind it, though, I do see some clustered thunderstorms on the back edge of this. Warrensburg, Urick, Clinton, possibly moving through. And so these will be robust thunderstorms as well. So we're in for a rainy, stormy night. I do see a few storms popping up on the backside as this moves through. Looking over towards Wednesday, though, I do see more storms coming. This is now, should be about Wednesday evening, right? Yeah, this is afternoon. This is about 3, 4 p.m. that I see more thunderstorms. This round is going to move northeast to southwest. Just kind of watch this develop with me. This is going to push off predominantly to our southeast for any significant threats. But we do still see continued thunderstorms through tomorrow, that being Wednesday. So I want to go ahead and point out there have been a couple of changes since this morning's forecast. Here's the severe weather outlook updated by the SPC, now painting evening, I think it makes sense, hopefully, if you just saw my model data, that moderate risk, 4 out of 5, picking up there. Southern Kansas shifted just a little bit toward southeast Kansas. I think that's where we will see that strong linear threat evolve through the evening. So let's take a look at the threats they've identified with this. Again, tornado outlook having to do predominantly with the clustering of cells that we should see late evening, but not out of the question as well with that linear threat. But I'll be here to watch it step by step with you. I think the damaging threat overall, biggest threat, will be severe wind covering approximately the same area. And so what is going on that is making all this such a prolonged threat? We have here the surface chart showing you that a cold front kind of diagonally now situating over the region. You can see the area in red. This is this afternoon, this evening, the surface chart. This is where storms are going to fire along this front, and it's not until tomorrow afternoon. Let me see if I can pull up that. Yeah, here is tomorrow afternoon's surface chart. That front does finally sag to the east, but not before it fires us off a few more rounds of thunderstorms. So let's go back to radar one more time. Here is your current situation once again. This is 4:14 p.m. I do think through the evening, like I just showed you, that we will continue to see pop-up thunderstorms. I think they're going to be a little bit further down here to the south, but right now just clusters of stout thunderstorms. They're going to put down some significant precipitation. They're not moving that fast. Heavy rainfall, not marking any hail. There's a little bit here south and to the west of Hamilton right now, but these are going to be efficient rainfall producers as precipitable water values are high this afternoon. So I'll put the radar in motion for you one more time. See these starting to slide off to the south and the east. I'm seeing some weakening trend now. You can see as these move off to the south and the east. So that's going to be the way of it. Like I said, I'm looking at that 11 p.m. midnight. So I'm going to say, from 10 p.m. To 1 a.m., we're definitely paying attention tonight, starting over on the Kansas side, working southeast towards state lines. So that is how I see things playing out for the next few hours. I will be here to watch it with you. Be paying attention tonight. I will hop on here, especially when there are warnings, and we'll go through it together. In the meantime, have a great evening. Catch you later.